Why does it... Yeah, it wasn't registering. Okay. Are you guys sure that we don't have... Okay. We're going back to see Deputy Begal. Again. Lower Blues. Happy Trails. Okay, goggles. Mark. Hi, Moon Rabbit. Aid. Nesks. Ammo. Weapons. We're gonna stick with we could do 9mm for a little bit. How do you sneak? Nope. It didn't mean to shoot this time. Case. Excellent. Oh, I just accidentally wasted a bullet. Okay. Let's go the other way. Oh, control. Oh, my brain. Yeah, my brain thought it was shift. Hidden. Okay. Okay.
I've got you now.
Fuck! Where are you? Which direction are you? There we go. Tap. No. I could barely clean up the Bison Hotel. I could barely do this. What the fuck? Homies, God, freaking fire. Okay. He has fire. Oh, his head fell off. Oh, I know. If I leave the hotel and then go teleport myself to... Did I unlock this door? Oh, I didn't unlock this door. Time to frickin' unlock this door. What about Industries Termalink? Sealant. So it's probably the SE. It's probably the SE. E could be the. It couldn't be the EA. Sealant. I already did. Keeping. No. Leading. Probably. It could be the EA. Meeting. It wasn't the ING. Android. Nothing overlap. Release. Is it? Okay. No. We're gonna leave for now. Because we're at half health. Arby's is not the password, homie. Okay, tab. Data. World map. Good spring source. Time to seep. Who needs medical attention when you have water? Arby's wasn't even an option, homie. It was a 7-key password. It's how you make the sip noise. Sip, 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 sip. Curl. Oh, I accidentally alt-tabbed for no goddamn reason. Okay. Alt. Oh, alt is iron sets. Okay. I couldn't do that at dinner one time and see what people say. Geckos. Do I go back to Good Springs and get better weaponry? Excited hydro homie noises. Eat. Yes. Speaking of hydro homies, I got a plushie in the mail. Plushies. He is a warmie. His name's gonna be Marvin.
Hey there. You looking to buy some supplies?
And he's a manatee. Show me what you got for sale. Okay, I don't have many caps. Okay, what do you have in terms of weapons? I don't. Tire iron. Nothing useful. I can sell you the dynamite I have. I don't have any explosives. Okay. I could. How many bulk energy cells come in the energy cell thing? Because I have energy weapons. I don't need the fission battery yet. Not many. No. Currently, I am the s'more. In the fall and winter seasons, I will become the hot cocoa. It's seasonally appropriate. What? Okay, so it takes... Okay. I can do the ferment rifle. Hollow point, but do they have... I don't, not overcharge. Wiki says 1 box, 100 rounds. That's a lot. Does it... Okay. Because I need... Yeah, because my main thing is energy weapons. Does he have any medical? No, he doesn't. Except.
Thanks.
Good to D.
Take it easy now.
100, yes! That's a lot of ammo. Especially a lot of ammo that I'm good with. For a weapon that is of high quality. No. Prim. Yeah, but it's half base damage, so it's more like 50 for the cost. The thing is, I'm bad at aiming. It's more making hand cam at 1K. I was actually gonna do ironically, I was gonna do something pumpkin based because I have a lot of I deconstructed two pumpkins from Halloween pumpkins, and I roasted them and turned them into puree. So we're probably like the first cooking stream would probably be like I would be making my quote unquote two ingredient mini bundt cakes. It's not way fancier, it's just how they make pumpkin puree, and I didn't want to waste the pumpkins. I didn't want to waste the gourd. Okay, so I'm good on health. I have a singular stim pack. I am not ready. Laser. Can you tell it to pull from... Yes, we're pulling from the bulk energy cells. Okay, we're using the plasma pistol. It's Fallout New Vegas. I did get Game of the Year edition. I did get the Game of the Year edition of Fallout 3. So we could also be playing Fallout 3. But I've been re-listening to Fallout Equestria Project Horizons in particular, and Project Horizons is based off of New Vegas. Also, New Vegas is New Vegas. I need to play New Vegas. Senna! Oh gosh, people are still awake. No! Why are cool people here? Howdy, Senna. Flowers looting process stopped. Let us try the classic IMG. Oh. Pog. Lag on admin. Disengage lock. And we're going to do this magical thing called saving. Door. So close that door. Loot. Pardon my friend. Mentats. Bobby pin. Docked bag. Steady. Stim pack. I'm not really going to use drugs this round. Peon nuts. Ooh, pistol. Med X for all your little ouchies. Rad axe. Caps. What did I just take? Okay. Cans. Sorry, my friend. Mugs. Okay. We're good. Can't only eat from grass. It's okay, Senna. It's Moon Rabbit's thing to talk nonstop about Arby's. Just ignore him. It'll be fine. Thuggy. Also, no, he's talking about Pippa. I don't know what he's talking about. Large ruined book. That's not a real door. How do you... Okay. Vending machine! Nuka-Colas! Are you a real door? Or do you have people in you? No. Okay. 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 E? Okay. Okay. Ooh, garbage can. I can take that. I can use that. Exit. I think that's just a you thing, homie. I think that's just a you thing. Okay. Irradiated water. Okay. There are hostiles. There are hostiles. Bag of cigarettes. Fuck! 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 How am I not hitting? Evil! Evil big schmeevils! Evil big schmeevils! Sets! Where's Sets? Aim! Aim! Mine is actually in decent condition. I just can't aim. Aim. Okay. There was another one. Why was it moving me automatically? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Pistol. To... Okay. Purified water. That's helpful. Long piece of dynamite can be sold. Merc. I'm already wearing merc gear, so okay. Yeah, roughly approximate can fix it. Okay. Sorry for taking your pants, homie. Me calling it Sats because I've been freaking listening to... Where, there. Down. Multiple people.
Anybody there?
I'm easily spooks. She got the me. It was early in the morning. Okay, Merc outfit. I can do another, so I can repair it. Dynamite can be sold. Yep. We're saving Deputy Begal. Again. Okay. Die. Well, you're dead. I was about to say a no word. Why do you keep coming out of that room? Oh. Oh, Pog. Ah, Pog. Are there any more red bars? Okay, case, don't need. Caps, do need. Dynamite, sell. Merc outfit, varmint rifle, worn key. Nice. I'm a melanated individual and I was about to say a word that only melanated people can, like, I was about to say a no-no word. A no-no word that I can reclaim, but a no-no word nonetheless. Did I not take the cash from the other merc? I did take the cash. The other one. Round. Varmint rifles. Merc adventure outfit. And dynamite. Now let's fix things! It was the gamer word. Okay. Repair. Okay, that is my highest quality varmint rifle. I can repair these with all the bad varmint rifles. So now I have 2 high quality varmint rifles. Let's switch to them because we got a whole bunch of ammo. I was about to say a silly little word because I was spooked. It's like, okay, yike. You don't say it. You say it when you're in the car and someone cuts you off in traffic and you're spooked. Fixing things. Value. Okay, can we repair this? We can repair it a little. Free stroller. Programmer's digest don't need. Alabexal cleaner. Meh. Okay. Egads! Egads! Eep! Eebie-deebie! Eebie-deebie-deebie! Eebie-deebies! Eebie-jeebies! Eebie-deebie! It comes with the service. They come from the frickin' ceiling. They came from the ceiling. Rads. Nothing. Haha, I can't drive. In her Uber. How many rads? Do I have any rads? Stats. Rad. I have none. I can afford a little bit for a little quick heal. And I have Red X. Okay. Not too much heals. Because then we can go to the good water source. And then get our sippies there. We can get sippies in multiple places. No bad bars. Small burned book. Anything of value. Albaxel cleaner. Let's go. Okay. Over the bed. And locked. Use key. Oh, nice. Yeah. This is my first time playing an RPG like this. I am easily spooked. Cowboy repeater. Electric gauntlet. Not a manly dude. Huh. This water tastes glitter. This water tastes like glitter. Hello. Sarsaparilla. Part of me wants, part of me says because I can't have the radio playing because copyright. I ain't security. I can't aim. I ain't no security. I ain't no little Pip. I am barely a courier. I'm sorry, naked guys. I need to take your clothes so I can fix my clothes. Nice. Doc's bag. Empty toolbox, scrap electronics, don't need it. There is probably, but part of me did want to play frickin' Fallout Equestria, like the audiobooks via Crazed Ramblings. Yes. Yeah. I was thinking specifically Project Horizons. Are we a yes on playing, New Horizons in the background? I think we have more than enough time to... VR. What is here to do, so is he. The big eye on his hip. His eye on his head. Lol, go for it. Let's turn down the volume. Yeah. Yeah. This will specifically be the Crazed Ramblings version because I like Crazed Ramblings' voice. And I know that it's sad that the New Horizons one never got completed. Like Joshua Graham. Whopper, junior, double, triple, whopper. Joshua Graham. I don't know who Joshua Graham is, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna listen to it when we get to the DLC because I think. It's like, it's Rock West. I'm a TikTok child. Whopper, junior, double, triple, whopper, Fable test with perfect toppers, I rule this day.
Chapter 1. Inception. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Equestria.
War never changes.
It had consumed our home, a war fought by foreign aggressors until great and terrible magics had been unleashed to burn all the world to ash and dust. Only our constant devotion to the princesses had carried us through that terrible war. Just as our
That's too much. I'd leave oof. I'm a youngin'. I also had Vine.
Trust in the Overmare. Obey the Overmare.
He's going to army.
The grating buzz of my alarm yanked me away from sleep. I stuck my left foreleg out from under the blankets, away from my head, felt around for the end table next to the bed, found it, and proceeded to whack my pit buck against the tabletop until the right button was hit and the noise stopped. I groaned and smacked my lips, tasting the sour gunk in my mouth before rolling onto my back and huffing softly. Good morning, Blackjack. Welcome to another thrilling day in Stable 99. I half crawled, half rolled, half fell out of bed and gave myself a vigorous shake. Life in Stable 99 was routine, with any deviation punishable by the security mares. I had half an hour to wash, half an hour to eat, and an hour to report to my duty station. The same as it had been every day since I'd gotten my cutie mark. Slowly, I shuffled through the copious amounts of junk I'd collected. It was mostly
Where's the door?
food chips and
Downstairs.
fruit
Where's the door?
balls, though I liked to pretend that some of the open bottles in the dressers were some sort of fermentation experiment. Maybe a pet?
Ooh.
Colonization by our future fungal overlords. American dream, right?
Big secrets.
My horn glowed white as my magic lifted my uniform from one of the heaps. I gave it a test sniff. Ew, unacceptable. I tossed it back into the pile and sifted around for another.
Darn it.
Yeah, this'd work.
I can't.
Trotting down to the showers,
There we
I
go.
passed the murals designed to inspire camaraderie and cooperation. At least, according to what I've been constantly taught in classes. We were all the Overmare's foals, declared the caption of one picture of an abstract white unicorn hugging dozens of tiny ponies in her hooves. Another showed one lone weeping mare under the caption, "Selfishness separates." I trotted into the sector's communal bathroom, and immediately my ears perked to a familiar giggling. Walking past the stall, I glanced in at two mares employing unauthorized and probably ineffective washing techniques. According to the training manual, behavior like this in public spaces was punishable by whipping and restriction to Class C rations. So, it was pretty understandable that the pair looked up with some trepidation when they spotted me. Oh, it's just Blackjack. The dappled mare, Pastels, said in relief before flushing and snapping at her partner. I swear, you're trying to get us flogged.
Darn it.
Fine. Giggled the white mare, Misty glows from the bakery as she nuzzled her partner. Misty was a chronic repeat offender. I didn't know if she just liked the kiss of the whip or if there was something else wrong with her. Or both. I sighed.
We can leave
I was supposed to discourage
right now.
this kind of thing. However, it fucking sucked being the mayor who's supposed to discourage this kind of thing. Yeah, you won't think so if it's Daisy doing the flogging, I commented, and instantly their smiles disappeared. I couldn't blame them. With the constant duty and honor bullshit, a little flank spank was one of the few reliable means of recreation, and a lot of the security mayors got really enthusiastic about it. I stepped under the spray and immediately jerked. Cold! Yeah, heating talismans are really slow today, Misty said. Well, I said after a moment, go back to your quarters and finish up your fun. Make sure you're back in your beds by curfew. Yep,
Darn it.
that's me. Big, badass security pony. The pair glanced nervously at each other and then quickly finished their showers. I wonder if we can do it in the atrium and not get caught. I heard Misty mutter to Pastels as the two trotted out. I rolled my eyes and shook my head. Some mares have all the luck. Not that they were the only two, or even the worst two.
Oh no, PPP. PPP. Where?
I supposed it was only inevitable when half of their day was devoted to keeping this place going.
Green HUD.
And
Someone told me to change it.
if we didn't,
Someone told me to change it. I can change it back to the... You can change it back.
was all that was
I can change it back.
Every filly learned that as soon as they
Beep beep. Beep beep beep. Okay, did I get a raid? Okay, fake raid. Okay.
Radioactive death would have awaited us outside. So, we kept the stable working. We kept order. We kept loyalty. Because at any moment,
Just a couple of us. Okay.
fuck Blackjack. Don't think about another incident. I muttered softly.
She was on Twitch.
The Overlord protects. But I felt a gloomy specter rising inside of me at the thought of the
Taking
entire
off my
state
watch
being
for a
that
second because my
years
wrist
later.
hurts.
There
Tired
were
from
exactly
such COD,
500
man.
jobs to be filled in Stable 99.
Beep, 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 beep. Nope, I just came here on my own.
Were covered by mayors like
How do you
myself who
wait?
inherited our jobs from our mothers. My mom was security. I was security. When I had a daughter, she would be in security. And so on, and so on. In the rare event of a mayor dying before she
We
could
know
leave,
each other by our
a lottery
call.
would be held for some other mayor to produce an extra filly for the spot. Because the population had to stay at 500. Every pony had to
You
behave
looking
and
to buy
follow the
some
rules.
supplies?
Otherwise, there'd be an incident. Stable 99 couldn't take another incident. The bathroom alone showed the flickering lights from overtaxed generators, and the water that couldn't settle on whether it wanted to be freezing or boiling. You couldn't think about it. All it would take is one thing to go wrong, and we'd all die. One busted generator, one broken recycler, one accident, and we'd all be choking on our own.
Flavor booth at the convention. Oh, there was a flavor booth?
Don't think about it, I said, trying again to shove it from my mind.
Give him
That
all my
was made
dynamite.
ridiculously easy by midnight trotting past me towards the atrium. Instantly, my ruby red eyes popped wide at her cute flank and graceful tail. Black on black, and oh, she needed to be mine. Hey, midnight! Midnight! Hey! Hey, wait up! I shouted as I tripped and raced to catch up with her. Of course, she didn't wait. She never did. Instead, she picked up her pace. Damn it, Midnight, no running in the halls! I shouted as I ran after her. What? I'm security. I'm allowed to break the rules when pursuing a fine flank. Unfortunately, there was a flash, and a pair of hoof cuffs materialized around my forehooves. Oh, shit! I barely got out before rolling head over hoof. I glared
Keeping the
around
center
and saw-
module.
It could only
Playing the
be
book.
Daisy. Marmalade. Excellent cunt block. Top notch. The pale earth pony mare and honey-colored unicorn both smiled at my predicament.
I guess without nods is weird.
No running in the halls, Blackjack, Daisy said, stepping out of the side hall she'd been lurking in. When Stable Tech made the stable, clearly they hadn't had mares of her size in mind.
Another satisfied
Her
customer.
ears nearly brushed against the ceiling as she looked down at me with her snide little grin.
Oh, we like you too, Big C.
Not even after pussy.
Thank you.
Marmalade gave an echoing little snicker. Right. You got me, I said as I held up the hoof cuffs. So? Aw, don't know the spell yourself. I thought all the security unicorns did. Marmalade does. Daisy taunted as she stepped over me, making her way towards the atrium stairs. The vapid unicorn gave a slack grin and nodded, and then both of them had a good laugh as they trotted away. I rose from the floor, glaring at their backs before hobbling off after the pair. All security unicorns were supposed to know a selection of spells for policing
Mixie
the
is my favorite hot chocolate.
I had telekinesis.
I had
And
telekinesis.
telekinesis.
Telekinesis and
And-
telekinesis.
Did I mention telekinesis?
This is Fallout Equestria New
Didn't cough
Horizons.
or stun or do interrogation spells to save my life. All the practice I put in merely gave me a migraine. I'd have been better off in maintenance. Wait a second. That would mean I'd have to be responsible for the stable. Strike that. Better I was in food prep. Nice, low responsibility food prep. That was the life for me. But I was security. Because Mom was security. Because her mom had been security. All the way back to the legendary card trick, the one who carved security. We save ponies. Above to the security level. Hooray for complete
Is this torture? No, this is good.
I knew I'd never
It's
save
good.
I couldn't even get out of these hoof cuffs. Whoa, whoa. Pity party, table for one. Or not. I didn't have any time for the poor me routine. Never played well. Nope.
Yes, she already
Get out of
does.
these cuffs, and I had an idea how. The huge atrium was the heart and soul of pony life in '99. Almost half the stable could fit
Fallout
in
Equestria New
more if
Horizons.
every pony was really friendly.
Specifically the Crazed Rambling
Huge
series.
support pillars have been sculpted into the
readings.
various tree trunks, and the support beams have been fashioned to resemble branches. That was about the extent of trying to make 99 look like something outside. Besides, the effect was ruined by the huge banners of the
Nah,
pioneer
we
smiling down
don't.
at us all and her Stupid patriotic slogans of healthy over mayor, health 99, and stability.
We don't
overall.
break containment.
Really? Stability? The music piped in was half parade march and half hymn. Any wonder why I tried
We
to stay out
don't
of
break
this place?
containment.
There was also the fact that most ponies refused.
Horse show.
They dropped their conversations, look aside, or leave. It didn't matter that I tried to be nice. The fact was that all I had to do was drop a name, and they'd be hauled in for interrogations. I'd witnessed enough to know I didn't want to drop a name. Besides, I already tried it once. Never worked for the ponies who deserved it. I passed the cafeteria, where ponies loaded bowls with green recycled algae slime, scooped recycled fungi cubes onto trays, collected synthetic recycled carrot sticks and apple flakes into bowls, or heaped up stacks of green recycled grass chips, brown recycled hay chips, and white recycled cake chips upon their plates. All the food in 99 was recycled into more food. All the waste in 99 was recycled. We were recycled. And yes, even having lived here my entire life, I still found it easier to pretend that the machines were just magically making...
Okay, we have audio. We have dialogue. So... Heckin'. There's too many cops. Probably. Who's the guy talking in the background? You listen, you Amazon size swore. I don't think ponies are good for your health. But okay. It's like... No. Yes, it's MLP fanfic. It's... I've been listening to it at work.
My good lady, I believe... Oh, why, of course.
Okay. Hopefully Deputy Begal doesn't frickin' die. That's... We got a shot on the torso. We can do that. Dangerously low. Is Deputy Begal dead? Okay. Beagle's dead. There we go. I did it. Deputy Beagle is dead. Well, at least we get his stuff. Deputy Beagle's journal, leather armor. Well, at least incinerator, leather armor. Oh, Merc veteran Merc outfit and cash. Howdy. How's my love? How much Fradex does? I think yes. Merc outfit. What do you mean it's dangerously low? Happy birthday, Epic. R. Okay. It's high. And we repair that to be sold. Do we get the leather armor? Sip, 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 sip. Sip, 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 sip. Is everyone else dead? Oh. Anything? Pot. Sarsaparilla. All I got is coupons. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And you know who can be sheriff now? The little robot guy! Actually, reload my weapon. Put my weapon away. I can hear it. Like, people have said that it's like, we need to find you a studio. We need you to get into the studio. Here, old friend.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to the Vicky and Vance
Good day.
Happy trails, partner.
Okay, I need to listen to the data, radio, misc, Deputy Begal's turn.
Most unusual. The powder gangers have visitors today. I guess there's a first for everything. Now those tough-looking fellows must be great cons. I recognize those funny helmets and leather vests from stories I've heard. So what are they doing with that dapper gentleman who wears a checked suit? I wouldn't mind a suit like that. They're talking about heading south toward Nipton, then west to Novak where they'll meet up with someone. I guess I could track them if I needed to, but the town of Prim needs me here to serve and protect. Oh my, I think I've been spotted.
And then you were abducted. Sorry, Holby. Oh, can I make you the sheriff now? Okay, I can't make you the sheriff yet. I will use my magical science ability. Where good heck is Nash?
Hey, youngster. Thinking about Prim, huh? Begal had some notes he was taking while he was eavesdropping around.
Question about your robot. I have to try to fix it.
If I had my way.
Okay. Eddie! My love! Eddie! Let's talk about something else. Your deputy died.
I guess you're gonna have to find us a new lawman. I suggest talking to those FlaVR troopers across the bridge. I also overheard the Potter gangsters talking about some ex-sheriff on lockdown there.
Okay. Consum.
Well,
Anything for sale? Did I take the Inferno? Take it. I don't want it. Except in accidents.
give me a shout if you need anything else.
I need the fission battery. I think I need the fission battery for Eddie. Because he's my boy! Eddie! My beloved!
Welcome to the Vicky and Vance Casino and Museum.
Science.
Law enforcement protocols reinstated, partner. Initializing use of force authorization. Authorization found.
Yeehaw! Thank you.
Happy trail.
My kind of town. He's a boy! He's a boy! Yay! I need to find a fission battery for my boy. He's a boy. He's my sweet man. Sweet man. Sweet boy. Sweet man. Friend-shaped. Friend-shaped. Eddie. My beloved. Eddie. Medicine up. And just la femme. Cannibal. Swift learner. Retention. Intense training. Or swift learner. Yeah, let's do educated. Gas station. Like the one filled with jackals? No thank you. I died to them multiple times. Speaking of that, I need to save. I don't... No. We're getting smarter. We have gained intelligence. I love you. I love you. I was thinking of just buying one. I already cleared it from my mind. Wow, we're zombie. Yours usually a 4-4. I don't know what that is or what that means. It's probably a gun. You gotta remember, I'm an idiot. Backseat gaming is encouraged. I am not that smart. Reunion. Okay. They went that way. Nipton. Okay. Nipton's that way. So, let's go to the canyon. Set my marker. Like, let's go there. Yep, there. You were pretty smart during the Yick stream. Okay, I may have high intelligence, but I have very little wisdom. Very little wisdom. Barely any wisdom. Like, absolutely zero wisdom. High int, low whiz. Giant dinosaur. Oh. Wow, you're zombies, talking. Low whiz. She got the meats. I got that wavy brain. It was at the jackals. Yeah. Yeah, I ran from... Oh, that scared me. Ooh, sellable. Ooh. It's like, I may not know how to do explosives, but I know how to sell things. Exit. Okay. I'm sorry, homies. Nothing in the barrels. Front of the side. List of dump stat confirmed. I think it's canyon wreckage. Suitcase empty. Courier 6. Where is this? You can go home courier 6. The divide. Oh no. No. Is this the location? This was the location. Darn it. DLC. Okay. DLC entrance. Oof. We're going independent, homies. We're going independent. If for no other reason than for Yes Man. I'm gonna help you do so much, whether I want to or not. I know dinosaur is the Nipton thing. You go to the dinosaur. I know where the dinosaur is. Like, wait, you can't bring Eddie on the Lonesome Road? You cannot bring Eddie? I'm walking around and getting lost again, aren't I? Yep. I always do it. That is a frick. Google. Let me bring Eddie. He's required for the DLC. Eddie! I love you! Eddie! He's a boy! Round! Lovable. Round. Let's buy the fission battery. It's for Eddie. We do it for him. He is circle. He is round. We are not in hard code mode, so he cannot die. He is round and cannot die. Fission battery.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Good day. Eddie. You can. Is it gonna. Yeah, you can't trash sale from inside. You can't be magical. Actually, I do need to. Well, we're getting Eddie now. We're getting Eddie now. Rex is also cool. But Eddie is round. 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 Howdy, Duck.
How are you holding up?
I'm feeling hurting. 50 cap. You can get Eddie a hat. You can give him a hat. And also
How are you holding up?
rads. Ooh, 100 cats. Good day. Thank you. My torso wasn't paid. Well, we can't. Well, speaking of noise, if nothing else.
To be. Still, despite being made out of recycled poo water, the chips were pretty tasty. You just had to not think about it. Midnight was
Sphere.
on Rivets and textbook, and the black unicorn's eyes widened at the sight of me hobbling to her table. Mind if I join you? No? Great, I said as I set my hooves onto the table before she could shoot me down. Hey Riv, hey Teach.
She's Vault.
Earth Pony schoolmistress sniffed disdainfully at my intrusion. You were having a private conversation, textbook said solemnly. She glared at me. Rivets, an older gray Earth Pony, showed far more amusement in my predicament. Great. Do I have a story to tell? Here I was, just minding my own business, hurrying to catch up with a particularly lovely mare, when these hoofcuffs just appeared on me like magic. Can you believe it? I asked with a grin as I tapped them on the table.
3 pieces,
So
Scott
there I
man.
was, pondering and bemoaning my fate, when I remembered a certain vision of angelic equanimity, whose magic far outshines my own, and whose kindness and generosity would surely compel
Sensor
her to remedy my
modules.
predicament.
Heard it was you
I
brought
said,
the law back to
grinning ear
print,
to ear as I
youngster.
fluttered my eyes at midnight. Blackjack, I'm a pit buck technician, she began. Which means you're intelligent, skilled, that you possess far more competence than a lowly security pony like myself, I said as she hesitated. I almost had her convinced. I'll pay you in oral sex, I blurted. Textbook turned the shade of a spoiled apple, and Rivets covered half of her face as she chuckled. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Midnight said to Rivets as she trotted to another table. I'll be telling your mother about this, Textbook added to me before going to join Midnight. I groaned and pressed my face onto my bound hooves. Rivets patted my shoulder. Oral sex, huh? What's the going rate on that? Idiot.
Yes.
Rivets chuckled, certainly not arguing. I had no idea. I didn't think you were into mares, Rivet said with a smile, munching on her grass chips. I shrugged. It's more the fact she always tells me no. I glared down at the cuffs on my hooves, growled, then bit the conjured metal. She always plays hard to get, I said around the mouthful of metal. Well, it's your time to waste. Her spot on the queue's up, though, so I really doubt she'll have time for you, she said matter-of-factly.
It's a mildly dark fic.
My red eyes widened and then drooped along with the rest of my body. I slumped until my chin rested on the tabletop. Bummer. We all have our little trials, Rivet said with a sigh.
Yeah.
I gotta get Duct Tape's Philly on the duty roster. She's taking over for her mom. She sighed.
Okay.
Hopefully she knows which end of the wrench goes on the nut. Duct Tape died? How? I gasped. She was one of the nicer ponies in maintenance. I frequently bumped flanked with her on C shift, though never actually talked with her, of course. After all, I was security, and she was scared to death of me. Rivet snorted in irritation. Don't you ever pay attention? She died a week ago. Tried servicing the Overmare's terminal and it blew up in her face. Power junction wasn't closed. Yeah, but Scotch Tape doesn't even have her cutie mark yet, right? She's still in school, I pointed out, twisting my hooves errantly in the cuffs to try and free them. Does that matter? I've got 150 maintenance mares to manage, and I've got a hole in the C shift, and she's got to fill it, Rivet said firmly, narrowing her eyes as she pressed her lips together. I feel for the kid, really. But the stable takes first, last, and middle priority. She'll just have to get over it. Really? I thought it was Overmare first, last, and middle, I replied, enjoying a little smack talk. Normally, it would get a grin. The look on Rivet's face now, though, I'd never seen her look so angry in my life. My black and red striped mane itched terribly, and I just wished my hooves were free so I could scratch it. Rivet's groaned. Don't talk about the Overmare to me. She's been throwing all kinds of special work orders and studies my way. The little foal's demanding peak efficiency, and she's countermanding all my work assignments to make damn sure it doesn't happen. She reached into one of the many pockets on the utility body and drew out a notepad. Last month,
She's
she ordered
firing.
the Stable Recreation Broadcaster Maintenance 1 overhaul. But then she collected every piece of scrap electronics and conductors for inventory and kept the entire terminal crew occupied with searching and cleaning the stable databases. Maintenance 1 was the little closet of utility space next to the stable mainframes and the massive stable hatchway right outside the atrium.
Yep, she's shooting.
I sometimes used it for naps when I knew the Overmare was out. Did she say why? Do Overmares ever? Rivet's countered with a snort. Her mother was bad enough. I sure didn't shed any tears when she died last year. But that little tyrant is going to... And she drew herself up short, realizing that even if I was the most irresponsible mayor in security...
Darn it!
Security. She coughed and then gave a little shrug.
Yes.
I'm just concerned about the stable. That's all. And that was the story of my
I'm bad at
No
aiming.
matter how friendly I was security. She wasn't. I enforced the Overmare's rules and punished those who didn't. I sighed, my ears drooping a little.
I'm not prepped for that.
A seat at the card game tonight, right? There was some considerable doubt in her eyes as she stared at me. She rose with a cool, "Of course, you're always welcome at the game." Not because I was actually welcome, but more because having me there would assuage any fears that the game would be raided. After all, I was the only pony in security who liked associating with the maintenance mares after hours. It's an atmospheric maintenance 3 this time. Bring your bits. Because I would be leaving with exactly as much as I came in with. Because I was tolerated, not wanted. Countesses, why was my mane crawling thinking about the look she'd just given me? Took a look at the cuffs on my hooves, feeling as if there was something I was missing, then growled as I narrowed my eyes and bit them again. There
Friendlies.
were 500 ponies in Stable 99, and 1/10 of them were assigned to the duty of protecting and safeguarding the stable and executing the will of the Overmare. Unfortunately, we also had to frequently tackle the question of which one took priority. The briefing room was festooned with graphic reminders that service to the overmare is service to the stable. I hobbled in just as the security head started with the evening briefing. The security head was Jin Rummy, a middle-aged unicorn who still looked better than several of the younger mares.
Good day.
Her purple and red striped mane contrasted well with her lavender coat and bright pink eyes. And those pink eyes looked right at me with immediate disapproval the second I hobbled in. Jin Rummy trotted up to the podium and flipped through the notes organized on her pit buck. The microcomputer on the leg of every pony in the stable had a ridiculous amount of data storage space on it, but I wagered hers was nearly full. She'd been head of security longer than I'd been alive, and I'd never known her not to be organized, confident, and secure in her knowledge of what was going on in Stable 99. Daisy and Marmalade snickered as I limped in. I gave the rest
Have
of the
a good
security
day,
notes
Kane.
a grin and shrug before taking my seat. Jin Rummy just sighed and looked at me with a slow, disappointed shake of her head.
Brief.
Wasn't much she could do.
Oh, ghoul.
I went to
Feral.
hard work. Stable incident reports are down to under 5% this month. There hasn't been anything more severe than a few Class C incidents of violating curfew. Springs was caught this morning hoarding medics, but she surrendered her stash willingly. Punishment will be 20 lashes in the atrium tomorrow morning. Ooh, pick me. Pick me, can I do it? Daisy asked with a grin, waving her hoof in the air. Jin Rumley did not share her humor. Punishment will be administered by a random pony in A shift, Daisy. You know that, she replied firmly. Daisy snorted, glaring at me.
Thank you for joining me.
What expression?
Where are the ghoul?
In other news, medical reports that we have a missing male. There's a new P21 to round up for retirement, but he hasn't reported back after his last breeding assignment. C shift.
You're wasting
Roger,
ammo,
recruit
yes.
The stable. If a mare's sheltering him, write up the incident and escort him to detention. If not, find him, Jin Rummy said firmly. Daisy rubbed her hoofs together gleefully. Most mares simply looked bored. I tried my best not to squirm. Damn it, why were hoof cuffs so hard to get out of? Every pony in Stable 99 had a job assignment.
Someone needs to play Osu. It's like, what do you mean? My ability to press buttons is immensely great.
Males in Stable 99
Push button.
They were breeding equipment. From birth, they had their segregated quarters in medical and were signed out by mares for reproductive purposes, and, more frequently, recreational. There were 20 unicorns and 20 earth ponies in the breeding rotation. Once a male reached, how old was it? 12, 15, they were put into breeding. Of course, to keep the number in rotation the same, that meant that a male had to be taken out of breeding and retired. So, if there's nothing else,
Yes.
Rummy's pink eye scanned the assembled security ponies before landing on me. Very well. Oh, and tomorrow, if any ponies confused about how to dispel a hoof cuff spell, please report to security in 1200 hours for remediation. Maybe I could do it.
I'm just gonna die here. Okay.
I was in the front row, and yet, magically, I still knew that every eye was on me. Amazing.
Okay.
A shift and B shift are off duty. C shift, stable is yours.
Saving the fun by ramming over their heads doesn't do it.
Mares dispersed to get their last shot at dinner before curfew went active. Thanks. I really appreciate that, I said as I looked at the head of security mare sourly. She returned to look coolly. You're not a blank flank anymore, Blackjack. You have duties and obligations to the stable. If you can't fulfill them, then it's my obligation to train you to meet them. Yeah, except no pony ever asked me if I wanted them.
I'm just bad at it.
Hey, I called after her, and when she looked back, I sat down and raised my cuffed hooves. You mind, Mom? She sighed as she looked at me for a long moment, and finally went from being head of security mare to being my mother. Trotting back, she lowered her horn to the cuffs, and with a flash, she dispelled the summoned restraints.
Exit.
Technically, every security unicorn was supposed to be able to do that. Technically, every unicorn, much less every security.
Hit him. Just hit him with a stick at this point. We are here to hurt people. We're here to He like Eddie and his hat. It's a little hat. Hat. Also, I have a little bit of news. I have a definitive thing to do that I want to do and will do once I reach 1K. I have a plan for once. You see. So spread the word. Get your cool humans that like silly anime people that want to watch more silly anime people. Plan. It's a plan. No, it's not Fate. I'm telling you right now, it is not Fate. It's not Fate. On one hand, I understand. It's an appeal. It's a meme. But man, wait, what? Wait, what more? No, it's not feet. It is just also there's a pumpkin chuba. There's a new flavor, and she's spooky month. I like spooky things. I like her. She's very cute. Spooky. Low-key, it better be an Arby's stream. You're the only one that talks about Arby's. You're the only one. You're the only one, Moon. You're the only one. I was looking up what. Window capture. Pulses there. Do you like Burger King or McDonald's more? Burger King has flavor, which like sometimes having like taste onto your things is good. Skull. Make a move. Captain Ice Cookie. Casually speed mounts holds. Okay, back to menu. I forgot to switch it over to number pad. Settings. Letters. Numpad. Yes. Number pad. What's this period? Actually, no. Songs. Easy. Online songs. Search for, no. Sort by, my bookmarks. What? Levels. Oh, levels. There we go. Ranked. By discal. Yeah. Heck, my brain forgot that. Hello, goodbye. Going to bed. See you in hell. Raw meat gang. Good, because Burger King is better. I know Burger King is better, but sometimes my tism brain wants plain food with like two flavors to it. It's just like sometimes my brain is just like, I'm a simple being. I have simple wants and desires. I just want a Big Mac, man. It goes thinking. I'm gonna be eating like that celery. I am a simple being. I am a simple being. Sometimes my brain is just like, eh. Like, I did a lot of karaoke on a stream that you can no longer see. Surprisingly, out of all the songs that got the video Yeetus Skeetus, it was the Overlord and Irmakun. It was Overlord and Irmakun that got the video taken down. There is no Arby's in my area. Come on. No satisfaction specifically. Okay. Nah. Darn it. Okay. First of all, I need to get Mania Cat on this screen. Ah, heck. Heck. No. FlaVR. Okay. Good night. Good luck. Good night and good luck, boy. Yay, cat. Oof. Close enough. Darn it. Darn it. But what's your philosophy? What is your philosophy homework about? We can hash out philosophy. Is it, as long as it's not math, I can do it, I think. Darn it. What are the books? We can look at the Spark Notes together. Darn it. Oh, gee. Close enough. Ted pages. Oof. Darn it. 3, 4, 1. I need to, yeah, drums. I did it! Nah! I did it! First in a series of questions. What is the first problem Locke finds with the belief in innate principles? What kind of things is he talking about? Is his argument a good argument? Why or why not? You see, I want you to explain, like, as a part of filling 10 pages, explain to me, and therefore in your writing place of choice, which should be LibreOffice, Office Suite, unless Google Docs is required as a part of your class. And even if so, LibreOffice Suite, you could just transfer it to Docs later. Explain to me what is an innate principle? What innate principles are you talking about? Oh, I need to read 10 pages. But also, what are innate principles? Because I do not know. I want to know. For that one is freedom through discipline, but the teacher's probably looking why he's short-sighted. I hate thinking. I love thinking. Yes! She can't aim. Your teacher. Oh. Huh? That was something. About Arby's. Okay, we're looking for golden. Darn it. It was just bad aiming. I can't aim. Dude, wanna go. Three, two, one. I know it's a bomb. Okay. Darn it! Three. Darn it. Thank you. Been a while since I read Locke. Usually people default to his fraud feud with Hobbes, so I return Storms of Locke. Man. That's the anime girl makes me. Darn it. Darn it. Lock. No, I just pronounce things pretentiously. Loke. I just see Locke and I see Locke. I am. I'm gonna start blaming my keyboard. Oh, inside jargon though. Mixie pronounces it good. Freud. Fraud and Freud. Fraud feud. Why did I think it was Freud? God damn it, Freud. Three, two, one, go. No, I'm just an idiot. I'm being by. I'm not ESL, I'm just stupid. I'm being by. Yes. Score a goal. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, go. Okay. 2, 1, go. Okay, I did collect 4. Darn. Remember this. one I hate. Darn it. Mihan, mihan. Mihan, mihan. Mihan, mihan. Mihan. Mihan, mihan. What? Math. Three, two, one, go. I need to prep my VR stuff. No. Section okay? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Disappearing tiles going 3, 2, 1, go. More math. 3, 2, 1. We don't disperse it. Oh no. Yes. Why did it have squares? Why did it have cubes? Why cube? 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5. My 4, 3, 2, 1. Darn it! Cubes! Math is evil. And evil. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes! No. Okay, I think the only time that I would do a feat stream would be to play DDR. And you guys would have to buy me the frickin' mat. Good night, Wesk. And enjoy your night. Actually, there was a long time where I didn't eat. Okay. I don't. Darn it. Coupons in the mail. Boom, boom, boom. I am not athletically inclined, and it hasn't been in my... I may do like... No, I didn't eat like red meat or drink milk for a long time. Three, two, one, go. Omedeto! No, like there's a long time where I didn't eat red meat or drink milk. Let's do the time trial, I guess. It's Red running to it. How am I doing? How? It's just... How did I get so good? I know that milk is good for the bones, but like I had a music coach. Like, I was getting pure perfects. What the heck? It was like, but I had a music coach. It was like, oh, red meats and milk build up your mucuses and thus makes you a worse singer. So it's like, you know, right? Bet I didn't even really like red meat. Or, like, I kind of liked milk. But it's like, you know, right? Bet. And I didn't drink milk or eat red meat for, like, a year. And then when I was institutionalized, for the third time, is just, nah, she wasn't evil. She didn't know that I have unusually low iron levels for no apparent reason that even doctors now, 4 years later, have yet to explain to me. Yeah. Because, like, the one thing I had at that time was, like, singing. Like, that was my... Yeah. Do you get sun or are you a normal VTuber? I have labors. I am a wagey. Gnaw your way out of the cell. You'll never know your own body until you get it tested. No, like, the third time I was in the bin, like, the first 2 times were, like, wholly unhelpful. One, because the institution itself was helpful, and the second time because there were people who were, like, actively a danger to themselves and others, and commonly needed, as we colloquially called, the booty juice. So I and one other kid were transferred to the kids ward because we were calm. We played Plants vs. Zombies. But the third time they tested my blood and it was like, oh, like, you're supposed to be an 80. You're at a 4. How are you alive right now? It's like me. Like, yeah, so we're taking you off the antipsychotics because those aren't helping. And we're going to get you on 135 milligrams of iron daily. I know. I eat the meats regularly. Surprisingly, my antipsychotics gave me... Oh. It doesn't have checkpoints. Darn it. Blood sugar level that is 5 times. And it wasn't passed out. Oof. Oh. Icing in your veins. Oh, I still haven't beaten Hercules. Let's do the... Oh. Helix. Metronome, the game. Yes. Sometimes I listen to the weird, sometimes I listen to like the weird, like, like specifically like with like salmon roe. Like sometimes, like I'm not in it for like the women's lips. I'm in it for like the, like I'm in it for like the chew pops. The chew pops. I love the chew pops. I love the chew pops. Go blah 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 blah. Specifically, like the poppy thingies. Darn it. I have weird sometimes it's not like more the talking. Like I like audio dramas. I like other things in the form of audio, but it's not one of those streams. Let's not talk about that. Great. How can you hate a guy that's that? I listen to ASMR the same way I listen to breakcore because it makes my brain itchies go brrr. Some reason my brain itchies get so strong that um, the brain itchy, like, okay, I'm gonna make myself intentionally get the giggles and the twitchies. Like, it's like, Abe. Again, remember, your favorite s'more has autism. Tick, tick, tick. Love you. Darn it. Tortoise. I have alcoholism. Hooray. Well, not hooray. It's more good. Happy noises. It's break a core. Yes. What are those sounds I'm hearing? Your autism. You're hearing autism. Beep. The sounds of our people. Understandable. No, don't talk about the Golden Witch. Don't talk about the Golden Witch. No, Tangent. No, go back into your hole. Go back into your hole. No, I'm not gonna go on another tangent about Digi. No, I'm not gonna go on another tangent. Nah. Actually, that is what the artist formerly known as Digibro now calls themselves. The only time I've ever gotten overstimulated. Okay, I live in the state. No, we're not doing it again. I'm normal. No, I'm normal. I'm normal. Okay. Okay, so apparently May ran away with their child. Apparently May ran away from Ethan Ralph with their child. They had a child. Also, no, or at the airport. Oh, she came back after the airport. You know what? I saw one Ben Saint. Oh, so should I collaborate with the Ben Saint? Should I collaborate with Ben Saint? I think I could probably get the collab. The only remote. Those other. Ben is food boy. What is a food boy in this context? A good boy. Ben, good. I don't think I can get in contact. I don't think I can get in contact with Ethan Ralph. I can honest to goodness, I can try to get into contact with Trixie. I can try to get into contact with I can try to get into contact with Mixie. I mean, Trixie. It will be Trixie and Mixie on air. I get to ask her all the weird invasive questions from my childhood. The artist formerly known as Digibro. Like, I could. What do these words mean? I don't know what these words mean. Like, I could get you to the Raphael. You make sounds. I don't know anything about Ethan Ralph. I don't know any. Collab with Grandma Pippa. I think on one hand, if I am no direct descendant. She is an aunt. She like, I'm no Senna, and I don't think, like, I'm not sure. Like, do I have the meme-based capital to talk with the people? True, but also, like, I could easily get a collab with Ben. I'm pretty sure I could get a collab with Ben. Just the old man. Well, if it would be sweet to you, it would be refreshing. Scream first for every stream today. Yeah, but Also scheduling. Also being awake during the day. Like, yeah, scheduling could be worked around, but people paying attention to me, and like the raid was long enough, was large enough. Like, yes, I am a fan of the PCP, and like, actually, I'm still a part of the. You'd probably be open to schedule. Like, okay, like, I have, like, Ben has a cohort of people, and like, I know the type of cohort, like, I know, like, the type of people that watch Ben. I know the type of people who are in Ben's Discord. I know the type of people who would watch Ben do a collab with a VTuber. I know people who would know about the Ben VTuber drama stuff. Like, that's, like, and I don't think that CCV would get higher than my usual CCV. Like, if nothing, it will be, like, I think less. Ben saying, like, 600 was overwhelming enough. Is what does the fish say? That is what the fish say. I don't know anything about Ethan Roth outside of the Mace, the Trixie Mace stuff. Oh, you mean the manager. Oh, you mean the manager. Hopefully I'm uncontroversial enough. Hopefully I'm uncontroversial enough to, like, collab with Pippa. Hopefully. If I'm what would you guys think if I passed on and reincarnated Corpo? What would you guys think about if I reincarnated Corpo? Corpo. Yeah. No, Corp. Oh, yeah. Depends on where you go. On one hand, like, I'd miss the hat. It's like, me too, homie. The hat. I don't think I could go hollow life. Oh, I don't think. Oh my gosh. Like, whatever makes you happy. On one hand, like, I understand there's a lot of responsibility and also scheduling and streaming at regular times, but also help with my taxes. Unironically, one of the few reasons I'm thinking of going Corpo is because, like, well, I don't know how to pay my taxes if I'm indie. I don't know how to do my taxes if I'm indie. I don't know how to do my taxes. Just get an accountant. My family has an accountant, but I do taxes. Like, instead of spending on your, like, it's like you don't talk about how I spend my wagey money. You don't talk about how I spend my wagey money. My wagey money is my wagey money. I go through the hells of customer service. I get to buy what I want with my fun money. I get to be a little guy. I get to invest. What's a VTuber and why did you spend 10K? That's not what an accountant does. Not that kind of accountant. Bone chilling. Okay. I asked Ben if he would be willing to do a collab. I just did it. Ask report your earnings. Join phase for tax reasons. Like, that is honestly the only reason I want to go corpo. Online for Japanese. Ganbatte. I wish. Wait, no. I do not have the moxie to do that. I do not have the moxie for that. That's why I became an internet clown. Become like, it's like, can't become. But then I would have people looking at me. Looking. True. Everyone is a clown on the internet. Quick way to get moxie. I don't know, man. Oh. Take a guess. Not have crippling anxiety? How do you even... Mixie. It's having the meats. Okay. It's like falls over. Like... It's having the... It's like... Quickest way to get moxie is just a place to... Oh, with an eye, thank you. Anxiety and imposter syndrome. It's like you have multiple mental illnesses. Well, time to become an internet persona. So now lose the sense of who I am. Moxie comes with a side of curly fries. Yeah, phase auditions are currently closed. Underserving con man. Comment syndrome is the new way. You see, that was a slightly off-color joke. I redact the off-color joke. Please laugh as if I did make the off-color joke. Thank you. Thank you. I broke it, but no one could tell in the chat room. Mixie truly is an internet clown. You know what we could be? Like, I could be filling the dead air. I could be filling the dead air with My Little Pony fanfiction. Which is... I could be filling the air... Wait, what? Broly May!
Maybe that's why I downplay my appeal.
Broly May, why are you awake? Broly May! Go to sleep! Go to sleep, Broly May! Go to sleep! No. Broly May needs to sleep. I could. Like, at least I sleep during the hecking day. Wait, what? How many? What do you mean there are 20 people here? What do you mean there are 20 people here? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, me not looking at numbers. Me looking at numbers. What do you mean? Ah! You can be here. I'm just asking why. Oh no. 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 It was like, I wanted to see what the s'mores VTuber was up to. And I have insomnia. You know what? Oh my god, I have 30. I had 33! Actually, I want to kind of read my... Do you have anything that you want me to read? Because if not, I'm just gonna read Fallout Equestria stuff. The Book of the Five Rings, frantically searching for RV Starly, 40k lore. I find mentally women entertaining. That's all. Totally not here for yeek. No pressure. We're here for the meats. Anything but what you said. It's like, what do you mean you don't want me to read Fallout Equestria Murky number 7? What do you mean? Comfy stream for doing homework. Anything but what you said. It's like, you know, is this Animal Crossing? Use ChatGPT to make Irvy's short story. You know what? It's just, we're reading. I need to put content warnings. Because this requires a lot of content warnings. Also, you know what else it needs? Before we start? Oh. Go get water! Go get water! Go get water! You can get other beverages as well, but one of them has to be water! It's not liquid, it's liquid meth, it's liquid! Hello. Weirder. You space monkey. It needs to be. You gotta do both. You can have multiple liquids. Just one of them has to be watered. My water is from the fridge. We have one of those fridge water thingies. So yeah, we're gonna be reading Murky number 7. Water in my whiskey. Do you want the audiobook version, which I kind of like, or do you want me to read it? I don't think salt water is good for your tummy. Okay, me read it. It'll be better. Mixie reading. Okay. Read it, but in a funny voice. I don't think I can maintain funny voice. Who reads the audiobook? I have a processing disorder. Sometimes I salt a toast. Sorry, I accidentally touched my mic. The equestrian wasteland. It takes everything, but gives only 2 things. Freedom in dreams. Freedom to choose your path for yourself, whether you revel in the lawless expanse of the waste and strike out for yourself at the expense of others, whether you remain an unknown survivor, to exist and accept the harsh reality of to ensure your continued existence, or whether you'll attempt to rise up, be a hero, and attempt to fight the wasteland itself. Dreams, to believe in the world that you wish to accept or deny, the darkened past, the cold present, or the future that you can only see for yourself, be it an unchanging mire of land filled with boundless hope buried deep in those few good souls left in the wastes. Every pony in the wasteland is given those two elements, to choose what was make of themselves. Every pony, that is, except for the forgotten masses, the slaves, born into a life with no choice, taken from them not by the wastes, but by other ponies. They toil, destined for nothing more to be a cold statistic for a future to sometime look back upon. They have no freedom, they hold no dreams. This is the story of a slave who dared to dream. Fallout Equestria, Murky number 7, Chapter 1, Flying Without Wings. Slaving in Philly almost makes you wish for a winter rat up. What was it like to be born a slave? I suppose I should explain something about the nature of being born into slavery. It is somewhat different than the more common way of simply being captured and being forced into labor. You never learn the concept of choice in the first place. Your life is little more than receiving orders and following demands. Many would like to believe the myth that growing up in that sort of harsh environment makes you a big and tough pony with the willpower to someday overthrow your masters. Let me actually turn on dark mode, if that is possible. Okay, medium dark. Yep. Sorry. Thank you. I don't care. Yep. Sprinkle of salt water. This is dark. I'm in. It's like no sudden noises. I'm a nap. Cheers. It is dark. It's Fallout Equestria, but it's one of my favorite fics. Unfortunately, the truth is that more often stunts your growth, both resulting in a physically small and weak pony with no education and little true aspiration. How can a pony who has never known freedom of the outside world even ever know what to want from it? Sure, there might be strong earth ponies, powerful unicorns, or rare and agile pegasi somewhere that the stories did as once say, but not me. I grew up a runt, the smallest of 7 foals, born to an unknown father and a weary mother, sick with the taint poisoning in the camp near Shattered Hoof. Suffice it to say, given the way mares were treated in the slave camps, my father was likely one of the harsh figures giving us instructions and beating those who fell behind their quota. At first, it was cart hauling, but as the years passed and it became clear I wasn't going to get any bigger or stronger to meet my master's expectations, I was instead sold off. My mother had begged and pleaded with them. She had offered anything, including herself, to make them reconsider and keep me there with her. Although the memory is now far gone, I still remember the slavers laughing her off. They told her that they could already have anything they wanted from her. We were slaves. We had no bargaining chips. I was sold for a measly 100 caps to a rock farmer on the eastern edge of Whitetail Woods. Torn from the hold of my mother, I was immediately dragged into service upon the blank and lifeless duty of shifting rocks in an inane quest for gemstones. With a change in scenery came a change in hardship. While hurrying cars from performing physical labor had broken me physically and hurt my body's development, I was now a lone runt in slave labor farm filled with other delinquents, just waiting for a new body at the bottom of the pecking order. They hurt me, bullied me, they stole away my food and minuscule possessions. I had learned to sneak out and try to steal some back at night. I wasn't always successful. and I still have scars of the lash upon my back. Truly, I wish I could say this foalhood had taught me to be independent, brave, and determined like the ponies in the legends. But the truth is, it didn't. Like I said, as a born slave, you do not understand what a choice is. You do not know how to think for yourself unless pushed to the absolute boundaries of physical needs like food or water. If a slaver asked you to jump, you asked into which radioactive crater. No free will, no courage to make my own choices, and few dreams of anything more than perhaps a painless death at the end of it all. If any more proof is needed, just take a look at my flank to see the contract that sealed my deal. My cutie mark bears a loop set of chained manticles. Their metal bonds opened and ready to slam shut around my leg should I ever fall out of line. It appeared on the day of which I felt utterly hopeless, serving as a continual reminder of my enslavement. From the day I received the most hated cutie mark a pony could have, I was locked into the bad hand that I was dealt. I suffered the work set upon me by a half-dozen other masters as they passed the unlucky runt round for partially some caps. I was bullied, beaten, starved, and ignored to the point that even I began to forget myself. Every year, everything became a little bit more blurry as my life became nothing but an endless cycle of work, toil, and deprivation. I didn't even need to go into the waste to find the worst it had to offer. So, ow, my teeth. Ow, my wisdoms, my teethies. Friendship is magic, magic is heresy, bird. Let's read the fragged question. Friendship is magic. Nuclear magic. Unironically. That's where it goes. Where did there it is. Yeah, the FlaVR is great for people to test out streaming, like if they're even into it. I see FlaVR as a developing ground for new VPR talents, letting them grow with a nutritionist, very cheap and free assets. Yeah. I would like to think as FlaVR as something. Oh, there was a significant dip when I started reading. Oof. But I like, I want to think as FlaVR as more. I want FlaVR to be a whole lot more because, it being a public domain, well, by necessity, I also think it helps people who have the VTweeter stage. Understandable, but it's like, once you rip the band-aid off of streaming, like, it's like you can always dream of your perfect debut, but once you debut, you're probably gonna fall over and stumble until you but also by the like the FlaVR label may be given out and all of the like. Also, like, I don't like saying public domain for AI assets. Like, I like to say, like, machine created art, because, like, I don't think that's a public domain isn't the proper term for it, and Creative Commons doesn't also fit. But I, like, part of me does want FlaVR itself to go a little corpo, mostly because I want someone to help me do my taxes and help me. Eddie. But oh no, I caught it this time. It's gone. I would like FlaVR to go corporate, like a little bit, you know, taxes. 40 minutes. We're getting water. Go get water too. We still aren't large enough for pay for an accountant yet. Hopefully FlaVR stays like FlaVR. If nothing else, just get us an accountant. I don't need us to be like a fancy schmancy corpo. I just need someone to start an LLC, and for me to be a person that is a part of that LLC, a contractor under that LLC, so that someone can help me do my taxes. But like the only reason I would want an S corp, I don't know what that is. Your accountant will guide you through it. You don't need, like, I already have a corporate, like, I already have things under my name for my non-Chuba time to eat the taxes. Everyone's a little bit of an accountant, but I already have some other business things under my name. I don't think FlaVR makes enough income to warrant an accountant. Like, I do think we should be prepared. I do think we should be prepared. Just like have one. It's like, okay, if we all blow up suddenly, we have the accountant. But yeah, hopefully, yeah. No, I already have an accountant, but I don't want to ask my accountant. I want everyone. Also, I want everyone else to have an accountant. Everyone deserves an accountant. Once someone hits 50K carousel, we get an accountant. Okay. Like by the point where we reach like 50K, it'll be separate accountants. Like not if we like one of the support team makes a company of which we are all contractors for. And then the accountant does the money for all the contractors. You see, I have big brain. Wait, big brain. Glowing for big accountant. No, I'm just scared of the government. The government is scary when it wants its hecking money. Continuing reading. Or so I thought. Continuing. For one day, my master in Manhattan received an art offer he couldn't refuse. A promising deal arrived from another master far across the waste who was seeking any slaves he could get his hooves on, and he was shelling out large sums of caps to do so. Once again, I was taken into a convoy of other hopeless ponies and marched to the next place of labor. But this place was unlike the others, for my next destination was Philadelphia, serving under Master Red Eye. Upon my arrival, I discovered a hell city of nightmare brutality made real. A living, breathing maze of red-hot metal, blistering heat, and a thick, choking smog. It all surrounded by one of the eerie balefire craters, a great depression filled with deathly magical radiation. The scale was beyond anything I had expected. The workloads beyond what any pony could ever hope to withstand, all under an authority that seemed devoted to a fantastical call for unity. Red Eye often spoke at length to us across the speaker systems how we were aiding in the unity that would save Equestria. To slaves like me, all this unity truly held was the threat of being dragged away to partake in it. Those poor ponies who were, or wherever that, who went when, wherever that was never did return. Blah. Blah, 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 blah. To make matters worse for slaves, that same authority had no hesitations of weeding out the weak and using them as examples to better encourage us to work hard. Unfortunately, as I said, I am particularly weak. It was too much for me on my own. A series of horrors, I snapped. The workload broke me and drove me to make a mad dash out of my prison, desperate to escape the forces trying to control us. I do not remember much about what happened on that haunting night. Just vague memories of running, screaming, and being hunted down. I don't even remember what I was really looking for. All I knew is that they found me. The heartbreaking pain so great that I scarcely ever remember what actually happened. Like I'd be forced it from my mind to stop the hurt it caused. Last I remember was being thrown in with another overseer. I didn't ever know why. I could barely remember her when. As days wore on to weeks, I almost begun to think they had forgotten about me. Only they hadn't. They'd simply been waiting for an opportunity. Yeah. Dedicated. Look under the plug. Whether you use yours though. Okay. But I want everyone to be able to pay their taxes. I just want to have a resource that is available to everyone in the form of a tax person. Like, not everyone else could have, like, we may be a group of indies, but I want the best for all of us. Taxes suck. True. We would be fine. There's now a hypothetical Mixie. No. Nah. Let's go back to reading. Reading is hard, but I'm getting better at it, and hopefully you guys find it calming, if nothing else. But no, you didn't mix it. We're reading. It's good background noise. When you make it huge, remember your commitment to an Arby's stream. Don't worry, we still have all night. Read a bit slower, it'll make it easier. But, like, I like the cadence that I have. It's a good cadence. They came to me, telling I'd been sentenced to die as an example for the others, when they next held an event. This event, I quickly realized, was going to be the arena of death, the pit. The pit was to happen the next morning. So they let me sitting scared in my pen in Philadelphia, alone and battered, waiting to die in the morning. That was it, my life, just a short, tragic story, a life about to end, and without one chance to live it for myself. Yet at what seemed like the end of one small chance, that one small chance I'd been denied so far was suddenly waiting for me. One chance to try to be more than just another number. Yo, Ron, looking forward to the show. voices. They rang through my mind even as I fruitlessly attempted to sleep in my friend. I couldn't avoid them no matter where I hid. The disadvantage of being born to a mother sick with taint poisoning was the threat of minor mutation upon birth. In my case, that meant significantly different sized ears that were a little too sensitive. Sure, it's a great advantage for eavesdropping, but try having a master scream in your face and it's like shoving a gun barrel in your ear and pulling the trigger. Not content with a stunt growth, no education, and eternal servitude until the day I die. The goddesses saw fit to give me a mutation, too. It's part of the reason I always try to hide from other slaves. The Philadelphia Fun Farm Petting Zoo performed much the same task as it had 200 years ago, keeping all living things inside for the betterment of others. I pulled my meager clothing closer to my torso and curled up even tighter into the corner of a pigsty, the red haze of Philadelphia drifting in through one small entrance designed presumably for young pigs. What were young pigs even called, I wondered. One more unknown fact tossed among the pile that had, over my life, accumulated in my mind. You scared? Frightened to die? Gonna scream? We want to hear you scream tomorrow. Or squeal like a piglet. Yeah, do that. Well, that answered that. There were 3 of them outside, long-term slaves of Philadelphia. Each had been dragged in through those gates, kicking and screaming as they welcomed to the painful existence that would be the rest of their lives. I regarded them as lucky. They hadn't been born into it. They had known freedom for a time. They celebrated their small advantage by immediately treating me like some lower class in the moment. I had been hurled into the same cage area as the unruly trio. I had been at the bottom pecking order many times, but this time it was a true threat. They stole my food, taunted every time I did, and were, when angry at the slavers, often used me as a convenient punching bag to let off some steam. Before long, I had taken to hiding in the pigsty of the enclosure, a small entrance too low and narrow to be accessible by any pony bigger than my small size. It was cowardice, but I didn't care. I hadn't been taught to have any pride or bravery. All I had to do was stay alive until my masters needed my presence to do work, even if that work was to walk to the arenas to You're gonna die, runt. Beaten, stabbed, shot, melted, choked out. Bleeding out, choked. To that. Yeah. I hugged myself harder, half wishing that if I cinched tightly enough, I could simply disappear into the corner. The stifling hot in the warm air of the city, making it possible to tuck my head into my own hooves without getting uncomfortable wafts of warm breath every time I inhaled. Sleep was not going to happen. Not tonight. Between the taunts, the heat, and my own crippling fear, dreams were the last place I wanted to be. So instead, I remained still and coward, clutching my few possessions to my underside and softly crying to myself again. It was almost embarrassing to admit, but I cried a lot in life. It was one of the only 2 ways I could find to release all of my pent-up emotion that I had inside. Many times I had simply toiled away while sobbing openly or fled to my enclosure so I could hide and let it all out. As anyone could imagine, I had not done any favors for my position as the resident victim, for every slave looking to exploit those who were considered weak. The other way was my one permitted vice in life, the item I clutched to my stomach as though it would somehow save it. My journal. Under the crimson nightmare of heavy industry in Philadelphia had become my home and place of work under Master Red Eye. I had taken on greater meaning than ever before. I could not read or write. Slaves didn't get taught such things in the West, and my mother hadn't the time or knowledge to teach me herself. No, instead I drew. It was the only way I could express myself, to put charcoal or graphite sticks to yellowed paper and let my emotions and feelings dictate what I made, an outpouring of my own personal thoughts and feelings of what troubling me, or things I secretly wanted. But after Philadelphia, it also held a second purpose. It was my one little anchor against the madness that threatened to make me end it in a way it all end in one of the ways we could. A means to drive back some of the closing walls of insanity, of abusive slave, painful workloads, and terrifying masters. When I drew, it let me focus on something else other for a brief moment of time. I never looked back at my own drawings much, instead of preferring to do more. The voices continued, began to expand on the detail of how exactly some badass stallion or vicious mare would end my life tomorrow. Part of me wanted to shout at them, beg to go away, and leave me alone. But it hadn't worked the first time I pleaded to them, leave me be. In fact, it only made things worse. Instead, I sat up, shaking off the stray rotten hay from my malnourished body with a weakened stagger, and pulled out my journal. Biting charcoal stick I had stolen from the small stalks we often pull for work, I began letting myself fall into a trance. Trying to ignore the dirty taste of the stick, I spread out the paper from the journal before me. Charcoal meant paper with long, sweeping arc that grew into a mesh of lines, vague shape of something, some pony. Hey, runt, you crying in there? Come out and let us cheer you up. We'll give you something to eat after we're done digesting it. Anxious laughter followed. Ignore it. Ignore it on. Concentrate on the lines, the shapes, the curves. Half the time I didn't even know I was drawing. Live life to the full, runt, 'cause it's not like you'll have it for long. Oh, wait, you don't have any life anyway. Ignore it. Ignore it. I tried to let my mind focus entirely on drawing. The sound of charcoal and paper, the meditative bliss let my subconsciousness do the work. How does it feel knowing you're gonna die? I was weeping still, even as I chalked charcoal into the corner with a pitiful whine and clutched the drawing close. I blanked out the laughter and the voices, their taunts washed over me as I slowly held up to look at the feet. It was a small pony, lying dead in a pit, bleeding from horrendous wounds, while the leering face of his clearing light died from above. Trembling sobs gave way to full-fledged crying until I slapped the journal sharply with a hoof and cowered once more in the corner, as the voices came back all too vividly. Okay, breaking point. Yeah. Keep reading. See, I know. No, I didn't write this. This is Fallout Equestria Murky number 7. I just wanted to check chat. No, I just wanted to check chat. We're getting back. I woke up with a sharp rasping on the outer casing of the pigsty, sending jolts of shock through me. The sound echoed all the louder through my ears in the confined space. Instinctual responses fired in my brain as I quickly scrambled to my hooves, grabbed my journal, and squeezed out of the hole into the harsh outside world. I hadn't slept well. Gunfire from someplace nearby had disturbed my sleep several times. Probably some stupid pony making a run for it. It wasn't the first time either. On my first night, I was in a fodder torn in half by a huge rifle fired by one of Red Eye's griffins. He had been trying to stop them taking his foal away. A bright red glare forced my eyes shut as I stumbled wearily to my hooves and gazed around me. The world came back to view. My world. Philadelphia, the reliable industrial heart of old Equestria, now the reluctant industrial machine of the wasteland. Around that lethal balefire crater, its factories, forges, and mills rose like shredded but intact beacons of potential. Under Master Red-Eye's reign, the slaves had reactivated most of them and carried out repairs with salvaged scrap brought from the many stables that pocketed the nearby landscape. After years of renovation, the effect was less as a repaired ruin in some areas and more of a very unmaintained building. If you didn't look too closely to see the weathering from 200 years in the wasteland's weather, despite the revulsion of my presence here, I found it all genuinely quite impressive. I knew those factories well. Where I'd been broken in by tugging over bore carts of twisted scrap and newly manufactured ammunition, where I'd been driven through horrific work environments and made to labor in poisonous fumes that made me gag and choke for days afterwards. I dreaded the condition of my lungs, which must have been after my short few weeks living in that nightmare.
Marky number 7. Explain to me right fucking now why you aren't on your way already on your place of work.
I blinked as my eyes adjusted, turning immediately, lowering my head to the ground and observing to the unicorn slaver before me, as I'd been conditioned to do. The stallion didn't care for it. A savage, stinging blow to my cheek laid me front hooves connected with my face. I saw on the ground 2 feet away, nursing a loose tooth and an aching jaw. I felt the unconscious instinct to cry as I carried my head, but in the dry, warm smog of Philadelphia, my eyes were spent and could not muster the effort after last night. But place of work? What place of work? Didn't the slaver know I was scheduled to die in a few hours? My voice was weak and hoarse, owing to little water and copious heat from the fortress. I'm to attend the pit later on this morning, master. I'm sorry, I thought you knew. His hoof connected with my skull a second time, putting me right back into my rump again, playing fire through my face as I felt my body giving into the hulking slaver's strikes. Terror shot through me as the threat of further beating. I glanced up with him, one eye beneath my hood, as I felt blood trickling from the edge of my lip. It must have been my own tug.
I don't give a Celestia's right flank if you're heading off to die in that pit. What makes you think that you can get off of work until the time comes?
He stared bluntly, arcing his own neck and pressing his face against mine. Red-Eye brought you here to work. Now get your tiny rump in gear and get to work. An unwashed stench of his breath made me gag, but he was right. What choice did I have and not obey a command? Even if I was trying to fight the unbinding terror wrenching at my gut as I thought as soon being sent to my death. He was my master, I was the slave. Without a word I nodded profusely, got to my hooves, glanced upward at him. My current master, before Red-Eye, was a dull blue stallion with a filthy cyan mane. He had introduced himself first as having the name Whiplash, which certainly fit him, owed to his long coil by his side. He was talented with it, something many scenes in the Sun Farm petting zoo would attest to, myself included. Looking into those yellowed eyes gave me the incentive to move quickly and turn gallop off to the petting zoo. Slaves were not often kept under shackle and chain in Philadelphia, nor locked in pens, for the simple reason of, well, where could we run to? Master Red-Eye's part of Philadelphia was surrounded by a colossal wall and cannons to keep us in more than to keep any pony out. As such, slaves were often trusted to run where they needed to be. If they were not spotted at the right places at the right times, well, depending on how lucky you were and if the slaver who caught you was in a good mood or not. I crossed away into my pigsty home home as I glanced at the wall in distance and reflected on its defenses pointing outwards. Who in their right mind would be so stupid as to attack Philadelphia? If the wall wasn't bad enough, there was a chemical molt that had made me sick on the way in. The energized fences powered by some magical spark generator hidden behind the wall, and the towering guard posts lined the members of Red Eye's army. Oh, and the not-so-ignorable hideous pony-head-shaped hot air balloons that were sternly gaze on you with a pink pony's freakishly large eyes. The same pony who had strewn on every fun farm sign, ride entrance, building, and advertisement. The same ridiculous grin, poofy, curled pink hair that was out of place in everything else in Philadelphia. After just a few weeks in the fun farm, I really hated that pony. I exited the farm, glad that my tormentors had been sent to their own places of labor before I had woken. After last night, the last thing I wanted to do was face them again before I was sent to the pit. Inwardly, I hoped their workplace was someplace dangerous, and that I might never see them again if I were allowed to live for more than a few hours. Perhaps the parasite's pit, or off to investigate a stable death trap. I had never volunteered for such things. Big Griffin, who greeted my shipment, coming in, told us we would earn our freedom through them. However, I was too afraid to risk death seeking something I wasn't supposed to have anyway. Passing through the entrance of the fun farm, I paused briefly. Beside the entrance sat a rusted yet still operating markup of the pink pony. She stood on 3 legs, the 4th separate piece attached to a small motor, the armed wave, traversing back and forth. 200 years. Just waving. It had never stopped, and no pony even bothered to make it. Now it remained as nothing more than old courtesy, one that never ceased waving into our road towards, ironically enough, the nearby wall of Philadelphia. Its face always had creeped me out. Instead of normally huge mad grin, it held a sort of content and well-meaning smile. Contained to it, however, was the reason I normally stopped here every time I left the fun farm. To her right, there was a large mirror, pointed at any pony who would be standing in the queue to enter the amusement park. I couldn't imagine what it was possibly be used for other than making the queues seem longer. I moved in front of it. My form was thinner than normal. It was a shaped mirror. How novel. I reached out to wipe dust from the surface for a clear whiff. My hoof felt no curve. The mirror was not shaped. It was perfectly normal. That scrawny, wasted figure was myself after almost a month in Philadelphia. Great Celestia, I had never been anything but smaller than normal and possessing thinner limbs, but this was horrifying. I could see my ribs if I lifted up my clothing. I quickly tied my past jerkin around me again after doing so. Giving myself the once-over revealed nothing more than the ruin that my body was now. Dirty and dark blonde, lanky mane? Check. Filthy, dull green coat with patches of hair beginning to clump? Check. Rad sores on my left foreleg and my muzzle? Check. Slightly longer right ear? Thin-haired tail? Cutie mark bearing those gnashing manacles? Check, check, and check. Now just your humble, pitiful, weak earth pony here, minus the things earth ponies are often known for. Not shown, the painfully retching of my stomach, crying out for sustenance. The fuzzy-headed fevers that spoke of building radiation poisoning in my blood from the foul air in workplaces. Even without the pen, I began to rate my chances of survival for a month quite low anyway. Turning from the mirror, I set pace towards the armor manufacturing facilities. Road signs were useless to me, my inability to read rendering them defunct. Brainly, I wondered if they still meant meant the right things. These days, I stared at the tall, rectangular sheet of metal on stands just outside the fun farm. It was bent away from the crater, clearly been jostled by the missile that struck Philadelphia, but never truly been fixed. The words on it were indecipherable to me. Nothing but a mixture of dots and lines that held secrets that I would never understand. Words were not my thing. Shape and form were more my area of understanding. To sketch and shade in those quiet moments between shifts. However, there were 3 words that I knew. 3 words that I often worried about. Murky number 7. My name. Like some sort of sick joke to poke fun at some pony when he's already down. The not so lucky one, that said. The exact circumstances surrounding my name were little unknown to me, although you could logically piece together some of it. I was not the only child. My mother and my mother had been in the possession of a few masters in her time and had pensions of various slavers too. I had been the 7th foal she gave birth to, and I had no confirmation that this was the exact reasoning, nor did I like to think of it as a true one, for it pointed at my caring mother as someone devoid of imagination and life to the point where she would number her own children. As such, I wonder what if I had just picked up a master while too young to know differently. As well for Murky, well, you only need look at the color of my mane and coat for that one. A particularly lonesome slave I had once worked alongside in Manhattan told me that it was because my mother hadn't truly cared for me at my birth, because I was an unintentional child. Hence the sick joke of a name. I knew her better. It wasn't true. I felt the proof of her love to know that. Briefly, I paused in the road. It struck me suddenly that tomorrow my own mother wouldn't even know I was dead. I galloped the rest of the way to the factory in tears, as I sought only the familiar lonely toll of a slave's life to help me forget the terrible aching thought. Sipping water, checking chat. Just gonna pretend to be a Dutch boy who cannot understand English. Though this is a dark fic. Horse slavery fic. You start, it starts becoming normal to you. It's just, yeah. For my reading of law. I don't want slave ponies to be normal to me, Mixie. Post-apocalyptic horse slavery. Exactly. It's just Fallout with horses. You're indoctrinating me into a half-sleeve say. Where does glue come from in his pony world? Actually, no one knows. I don't know, man. This says a lot about society. Alpaca liptic. I know, the cringe factor. Does this answer the Fallout lore question of is there horses or not? Sure. I also like a part of what makes Fallout Equestria interesting is like the way that they translate. Like, what if, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if Soylent Green's people. I don't know if glue comes from horses in this world. We never get an answer. But, like, I think the most interesting part is A, that it exists, but B, like, the ways that, like, a consistent... I work in a mine and I have the meats. Although the Equestria does not fill my build. But, like, it's interesting to see how, like, multiple million word stories can be constructed from a concept that is just like, what if Fallout but with horses? And if nothing else, I find it well written. Like the way that they translate like the war. I think it's interesting that it's not bad. It's just a weird thing. Yeah, like especially if you've been reading MLP fanfic for as long as I have, like the pony. Like the pony stuff just starts to meld into the background. It's like, but if it was a normal story, would it be judgmental? It's like, exactly. Like part of it, like the longest piece of English fiction is a self-insert Smash Bros fanfic. I thought, it is well written, but I couldn't say they've written about happy things. Smiles and nap type dreams. Like, it's freaking Fallout, man. Like, I know good vibes are good vibes. Actually, time to explain Fallout Equestria lore. Like, honestly, I've been listening to this stuff for so long, it's just like, yeah, this is normal. At least it's fictional. Basically, instead of a war with China, it was a war with the zebra. And basically, the balefire bombs were like basically magic nukes of rainbow. Hello. But basically, like, okay, I was not ready for that sequence of words. Being radioactive. China is interchangeable with the zebra. You have piqued my interest. This was written before we got any other species other than the zebra and maybe the yak. Like, this was written this was written in like the lunar, like the Celestia Conclave and the Lunar Republic. Like, fic was being written. Like, this was early MLP stuff. I want to sleep, but you keep bringing me back in. It's like, you will never escape. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. But basically, the elements of harmony turned ministry mares. It's such, I literally, oof. The elements of harmony turned ministry mares, basically, like,
helped with different aspects of the war effort. Applejack's brother, Big Macintosh, a war hero who was assassinated protecting Princess Celestia, I believe at Shatterhoof. There was a technically, and Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, also referred to as the goddesses, they died. There was like a non-balefire, like there was another chemical weapon of like pink mist that attacked the capital of Canterlot, and the princess's dying act was putting a boundary bubble around Canterlot so that mist couldn't spread out. It is now inhabitable. But now, like, it's weird. There are different aspects of different things and different fics. Yeah. There would be no capital wasteland. According to Project Horizons, Canterlot is completely uninhabitable to anyone but the ghouls that already live there. Also, like, there's an interesting concept because, like, they're herbivores. So, meat is actually a deep part of it. Like, when ponies start eating meat, it starts, like, according to Project Horizons, I'm unsure if this is in the main fic or not, like, it starts to literally affect their brains and turn them into raiders. Like, it gives them, like, it reduces their brain matter and turns them into raiders. Like, it's surprisingly deep and interesting, and there's lore, and there's a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, the cannibal's disease. Yeah. It is also implied that if they start eating meat at all, they will start getting that like raider disease, like, yeah, mad cow disease. Technically, depending, like, oof. Mad Max. But continuing to the dark My Little Pony Fallout fanfiction. The armor factory. They loomed over the motionless and ruined hovels surrounding it. The same hovels where I presumed workers had once stayed to be close to their site of work. To run the site had long exhausted the emotional hurt that I had brought on myself. Instinct and conditioning forged it to the back of my mind as I stepped past the thick metal gates, feeling my lungs already burning from the exertion of arriving at all. I galloped past old workers' quarters briefly, where I wonder what it was like back then, before the mega spells, when ponies had the choice of where they wanted to live, with no pony telling them and what their day was to include. I pictured a young mare, turning away from her Cutie Mark's proclamation of being a sculptor, instead sculpted only as a hobby, while pursuing what she wanted to do, to run a little shop. How did anyone choose what they truly wanted? Given everything, how did one choose which route to take? What crusade would any pony undertake if they find a thing that they truly wanted? Sometimes I wondered if being instructed was not perhaps so bad in comparison to the insurmountable choice. Yet, looked into the hot red forge ahead of me, the scoring warmth already washing over me at this distance. I wondered who would want to work in a place like this. The factory office had been converted into a resident slave master's hub of activity. As I approached surrounded by scalded and tired-faced ponies slaying away on the metal molten vats. I could see her above, wicket slid, a unicorn mare bearing just a wicket of a blade that hovered alongside her. When not around her, some slaves would occasionally make jokes as to her name. The one slave that rebelled and told it to her face had lasted 3 unthinkable days regretting it. And since then, most had fallen silent on the matter. Right now, her hooves rested on the railing, her horn magically enhancing the volume of her voice over the din, as the blade floated casually to and fro beside her. You lot, get off the damn floor. You wanting to be dumped into that? 'Cause that's all you're good for if you lie around. I turned, seeing 3 ponies, 2 male earth ponies and a female unicorn, all collapsed on the floor. They had scorch marks on their hooves, no doubt from grabbing scalding hot metal by accident. That they are meant to be working from the refuse yard. Some of the stuff stayed hot for hours without showing it. I'd once stepped on one myself. All were clearly suffering from a lack of water and too much heat. As I watched under the factory master's barked orders, a couple of slavers began hauling them off. The slaves were too weak to even fight back for their sake. I hoped that the master was not intending to hold to her sick promise. Only then did I notice her eyes watching me, frozen, staring with no work to be done. You! Get up here now! You're late! Bobbing my head to show understanding, I quickly headed for the skeletal metal stairs rising above the shop floor and the armor facilities. As climbed, the view let me grasp the full weight of Master Red-Eye's intentions. There were hundreds of ponies in this place alone, and this was only one factory. Sparks flew from heated metal, which was machined into place and cut on upon conveyors. The sound of whirling calls and the scream of tortured metal as it warped and forced into new angles assaulted my eardrums. I had once asked for earplugs. Wicked Slit had asked instead if I preferred them cut off instead. Steam rose and enveloped walkways that were thick with guards bearing long rifles and gas masks. Oh, how I had envied one of those masks or any relief from the poisonous air. A few even wore battle saddles. I envied them too. Call it a silly wish, but I always wanted one of those things, even if I had no use for it. Something about the mechanisms and the artful measures of weights and machinery lit a wishful, ambitious, and artistic side of my mind. Perhaps one of those lighter ones that I could wear and hang things off of would be the best. Briefly, as I trotted through the master's doorway, I wonder if I might be able to get one in the last few seconds of life inside the pit. That would be nice. The darker and larger part of my brain immediately reminded me that it wouldn't be so nice if it meant being beaten to death for an amusement of a sick crowd. Chucking back in reaction, I clattered over the leafily haphazard catwalks towards Wicked Slit's door. Inside, the office was marred with old furniture around a rotting wood desk, bearing with one of the indecipherable terminals. I hated those things, whirling away with hidden secrets, like something put on a question just to spite my illiteracy. Wicked Slit sat behind it, holding a cigarette magically in front of her mouth as she typed up, presumably a report on the 3 slaves that needed replacing. Around her, various scraps of her life. Cigarette stubs and packs, a couple of half-empty bottles of sparkling cola, her prized possession, a wickedly curved knife that apparently stood upright with the blade embedded in the wood. Her desk was covered with pock marks from the tip of it from each day. Not as many were left on her slaves. The popular saying once she had slit my back just enough to make the wagon's harness rub against it all day. Wicked Slit had a fiendish imagination with that blade. Right now, she didn't even look at me, as she spoke surprisingly polite voice, belaying her ruthless attitude. Do you know, Murky, number 7, how many slaves we lose on a daily basis? I shook my head. Frankly, it wasn't something I cared to think about. All I knew is that there was no small number. It was about to be one less. My mind, oh, so joyfully reminded me. Every few days, a slave in my enclosure just wouldn't wake up. Toxic air was a major killer. Smog in the lungs and infection forming with every small wound were lethal, too. She didn't look up. I didn't hear you. The words carried an underlying threat, of course. She wasn't looking at me. Shake of my head. I don't know, master. I'm a mare, Merc. She didn't even turn around from her work on the terminal. I mean, I don't know, ma'am? I tried instead. Funny, most female slavers preferred master as well. I presume she had some trouble with stallion peers to gain some level of respect in an environment given to masculine ego and shows of strength. If anything, it made her seem all the more lethal as I risked a glance to saw the puckered scars across her face, including a crack running up her horn, casting magical must that had been agonizing for her. It speaks volumes of her willpower. She sat up to look directly. She sat up looking directly at me. I had forgotten something. To say at the end, too, perhaps. I mean, I don't know it is, ma'am? I murmured, trying not to look her in the eye, or perhaps she was one of those more militant apps. Ma'am. Her left eye twitched dangerously as she shoved the heavy terminal away with her magic and leaned over the desk at me. Suddenly, I had very nasty imaginative thoughts about that knife, varying parts of my body. You think you're being funny, Mark, or clever? I shook my head. I did not want to risk anything else. Why had I gone so chatty anyway? Perhaps the knowledge that I had to get my throat turned out, let alone painfully bleed to death, had made me careless. My imagination had become imminent reality as a knife flew over and rested against my throat. My squeak of terror stifled itself as I dared not to move my throat in the slightest, but I swear the sweat running down my neck like his only cold surface rested against my skin, ready to pull to the side if she decided to get rid of me for back-talking her. The truth is, Mark, too many. And do you know why? She didn't give me the chance to reply. Lack of effort. Red Eye expects every one of you to do their utmost best. Did you listen to the broadcasts? I could hardly avoid them. Every night they echoed around my pen, blasting speeches of greater futures, of our sacrifice being for the good of our descendants and the survival of Equestria into better days. I had often heard slaves arguing, some claiming that perhaps he was right, and if we just put our backs into it, they may somehow save themselves too. Oh, well, others defiled them. Quietly, of course. But they would happily curse his name into the ground, all while groveling for forgiveness if any of those fanatical griffins heard them. Me? I didn't really think either way. One or the other, my purpose was to serve. If it was Master Red Eye that commanded me to do this, I'll do it. What else was there for me to do? Red Eye expects much of you slaves as us slavers, Merc. And examples like those three are not good enough. It's enough to make me just want to shooting every slave, resulting our great leader. Great. She was a fanatic too. Oh, my wonderful life. Which brings me to of course, to you, Mark. Given you are 10 minutes late, do you know how much you have delayed Red Eye's plans? Care to take a guess? She grinned sweetly, finally looking at me. Sweet Celestia, she was so angry she was smiling. Shouting, I could deal with. I've been shouted at all my life. Painful on my ears as it was, at least you knew someone who shouted at you wasn't going to do anything predictable. Well, it wasn't my place to argue back. It was time to take a guess. 10 minutes. Ma'am, I hazard. After all, why wouldn't it be? Perhaps. She leaned, her knife moving away. Instinct kicked in. I bound my head and led to the nail on my front leg. Apparently that wasn't what she wanted to hear. Her hoof slammed on her desk, sending splinters of the rotten wood splattering everywhere. She leaned over towards me, her knife moving away. Instinct kicked in. I bound my head down, now to my front legs. 10 minutes! Her voice echoed with magical power. I squawked in pain as the noise assaulted my ears. Try an hour! Merc. Huh? I lay there as my hoofs covering my ears. I struggled to grasp where magical number had come from. 1 hour. You being late by 10 minutes cost one trip with the scrap wagons to the ammunition factory where smaller scrap would be needed. Now, because they lack that extra cart, they'll need to run an additional cycle of the pressing machine. This, as you can imagine, takes additional resources that will now be needed in order from the resource silos. I have in front of me a particularly poorly spelled message of Slayer and sent to the slave master of the old iron shod factories, wondering just what I am doing wrong here. Tell me, Merc, if you are beginning to grasp the weight of not pulling yours around here. Well, yes. Yes, I began, words feeling like a whisper against the wasteland storm. I understand my mistake. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. She speared right into my sentence. Be better. That cart needs to be taken now, along with a dozen others. Everything needs to act like a well-oiled machine in this city if we are to achieve our great leader's dream. I want to see at least 7 more deliveries by the end of the next hour, or so help me, I will personally ensure so that you will not want to return here tomorrow. I won't be anyway, ma'am. I spoke up, finding some solace in that I would be escaping her after the next few hours. Her eyebrows roamed disdainfully, furiously for the interruption. I'm to attend the pit later this morning. I couldn't resist it. She made my life a nightmare for the past week, working under her supervision. I still burn a burn on my neck when she had put her cigarette on me. Her method of trying to show me that molten metal sparks wouldn't hurt as much as defying her. Bullying last night has worn on my mind. The knowledge of death being so close away drew certain calmness towards my word. Instinct led me merely to mutter them behind my breath, rather than burtly mildly. So I presume you'll have to find a 4th slave as well after I'm gone, ma'am. Excuse me, Mark. Can't I repeat that? I prayed to the goddess, is that she only thought I had not spoken loud enough. She had seen my lips moving, of course. Instinct was currently bucking my brain hard for saying that to a mare who had been threatening my windpipe with a blade a few seconds ago. I said, ma'am, my voice shakier than before, the imminent threat of the wicked curved knife all too clear as it slowly and methodically began to stab the desk in perfect beats, that I should probably go on? I should probably hop to it? I tried to smile, my grin, my way past it. She did not seem impressed, backing me right against the doorway before turning away from me. Then why are you still here, Merc? That was my cue. Any slave would recognize a lifeline that when they were thrown on.
However, as I got up from my hooves, she made to turn to the door. Warning bells ran in my mind. Wicked Slit didn't throw lifelines. She served them. I tried to dive for the Thor, but caught in her moment of the corner eye. Too slow. Her full buck catapulted me through the doorway with a cry shock. It pained my wib, half bruised already, screaming in agony. I lay against the catwalk, dangerously open edge. Seriously, who designed these things? Clutching at my chest, I looked up to see the Thor telekinetically slam in my face. With a sigh, I let my head hit the metal plating once more, relief as I tried to convince my aching body to get up. All potential outcomes considered, that had gone pretty well. That Brooklyn accent is great. The cat is out of the box. Cat. Oh, good night, Space Monkey. The cat is out of the box. Cat. He has no other way of speaking. He doesn't speak English. Monkey. But it's been an hour and 30 minutes. I could call it here. Susan Turtley. This kind of thing would not be tolerated by Space Monkey. I finished my homework. Oh no, getting what little sleep I can before I have to wake up. Good luck and good night. I hope you guys do as good as you can. And y'all are great. Hooray. I'm pressing the button now. Thank you for joining me. Whee!